Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Eagle Eyed Football here, and this is your live match reaction to. In all honesty, I'm in a good mood. I'm in such a good mood. What a second half performance! You know what? The first half was abysmal. Obviously I wouldn't have had a match today, so I was just kind of keeping track of it on the way home. And it just sounded like we had an absolutely abysmal first half. And it was all stemmed from obviously trying to play out from the back, obviously the new style of play we're trying to implement. But it just sounded like West Ham had so many opportunities, so many chances. But either way, let's just talk about the second half. Patrick must have said something to the lads. He must have said something to the lads because all of a sudden the energy levels rose. And we were the ones on the front foot all of a sudden, which was absolutely amazing. And it was just good to hear. Obviously, because as I said, I was coming home from football, so I was listening to it on the radio. But it's good signs that we actually went away from home. Bear in mind, it was just the second half, but we actually put them on the back foot, which is beautiful to see. If Gallagher's first goal was good, took it very well, got into the box, finished really well. Once again, it's good to see numbers in the box as well. But his second finish, the wherewithal, the awareness, the Cruyff turn, absolute thing of beauty. An absolute thing of beauty and absolute seize. Because you know what? When West Ham took the lead for the second time, it was completely against the run of play. Completely against the run of play. And you know what? Fair play to Mikel Antonio. I knew he was going to have some sort of say in this game. A goal and assist to him. But then, you know what? It took 2 minutes for us to get down the other end. And that Cruyff turn from Gallagher. That Cruyff turn. And to just lash it home. And you know what? In the second half, we were the only team that looked like they were going to win. West Ham all of a sudden looked like they were playing on the break. And I think it was Coyote who had a header late on, which was a chance. Saha's had his best performance this season. You know, all round, second half, we were just so much better and absolutely buzzing because you know what? It wasn't a game that we knew it wasn't going to be easy. It was a game that we were completely written off because obviously West Ham's had a decent start to the season. But we went there and we showed up. We showed our character. We showed ourselves and absolutely buzzing for that. Guys, the link is in the chat. I'll put it in again, guys. If you want to come in and have your say, hit the link. Come and talk about it. Massive result. Let me just go through a few of your comments. Good evening, Jordan. Thanks for tuning in. It was a fantastic performance, Luke. Absolutely. Nate here in the chat. Big result. All the negativity isn't yet fully gone. I agree. But it's so how refreshing to see Palace social media not on abusive down. Absolutely. It was just a massive performance. And once again, like you can see the slight progression in each game of how Vieira is trying to get us to play, which is so good to see him absolutely buzzing. But listen, let me stop talking. Like I said, this is your show, guys. I want you all to call in, have your say on the game. It's about your voice, not mine. You hear enough of me as it is. So, first caller in, and I'm glad this guy's jumped in. And it's not you, Luke, because you always jump in. I'm going to come to you in a minute. I'm glad this guy jumped in. He missed out the last time round. Welcome to the show, Jordan.
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me come in, man.
Listen,
I just got time. Yeah, man. Just got home about 20 minutes ago.
Talk to us. Talk to us about like the experience, the atmosphere at the ground. Just give us a lowdown.
So obviously, I've been there a couple times before, and you can tell it's not a football stadium. So what they do is they put the two tiers so far away from each other, you can't really get an atmosphere going. So you sort of had like a lower atmosphere and then an upper atmosphere. Right. It was still good because it felt like we were the only people making noise, but they were only making noise when they scored, man.
It's
So,
always the case, though. We've got the best fans in the league.
yeah, well, it goes without saying, doesn't it? That's
This
exactly
is
what
it.
happens all the time.
What
But
were your
yeah,
thoughts on the
man.
game?
I thought the thoughts was that the first half, you could see we were playing in our shell a bit. As Vieira said, that we were playing the first half with the handbrake on. It's you saw that the wing backs weren't pushing at all in the first half, and you could tell that that's exactly what he changed in the second half. He told Mitchell and Ward to push further forward up the pitch,
Yeah.
but you could also see that in the second half there's a lot more bodies in the box. There's a lot more commitment.
Yeah.
It showed the more commitment. It meant Zaha was in the game more. Ayew was probably our best player today. He was a baller. He was taking on everyone. A bit ropey in the first half, but decent, man, decent.
It's good. It's good to hear. And you know what? It's good to hear that. Obviously, like I said, I can't get to the games because I play and such. But it's good to hear that like Patrick is doing something. Like if something's not working, he's willing to change it, and I think that's a massive plus. Just to hear that obviously the fullbacks are pushing forward, because Saha's always going to get targeted. So
Yeah.
if Mitchell's getting up and down that wing, it gives Saha a bit more freedom and a bit more space. And he was brilliant second half.
Yeah, because you could see that Vieira changed things around. He said, so it looked to me more like when in the first half Mitchell and Ward didn't push up, but in the second half when they pushed up, it looked like Kouyaté dropped into that role.
Right.
So if Mitchell pushed up, Kouyaté dropped to left back. If Ward pushed up, Kouyaté dropped to right back. So you still had the defensive rigidity, but you also had more attack up front. So it went to a 4 up front instead of a 3.
Brilliant to hear. Brilliant to hear. Talk about the scenes when Gallagher. I know Gallagher's first goal was good, but his second goal, it must have been absolute carnage.
The scenes was amazing, man, because it was funny because we scored so quickly after they did. So I was sitting, like 5 or 6 seats apart from the edge. So it was there, a little gap in the West Ham fans. So they were still giving it to us when they scored. So when the ball went in, we gave it straight back to them again. It was hilarious.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And I think that's another thing. Our heads could have dropped easily, and to get back up the field and equalize so quickly.
It's a big show of character.
Massive show of character. In 4 games, we've had to show ourselves in 4 different lights already, which holds us in such good stead for the future. I just hope we can continue to. We're starting to impose ourselves, I feel. We're no longer looking like a club that will just sit back and accept.
Yeah, it looks like Vieira's ideals are getting across to the players a bit more. The more games we play, the more confident we look.
Yeah.
So at the start of the first match of the season, when we was passing it around the back, it was very, very scary to watch. But now you're a bit more. I'm still not calm about it because it's still very new. Yeah. But you feel a lot calmer when being on the ball. It's nice to see our team in possession for once.
It is nice, isn't it? Absolutely. And before you go, Jordan, Will Hughes, has obviously signed for the club. Thoughts on the signing?
I see it as a good sign. I see it as, I don't know, maybe a way of trying to get a younger James MacArthur to come through, because he plays sort of the same box to box role.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good signing, and as you said, it's a good signing for the now, and we've got other guys coming through in the future. But I do fear for what Vieira's going to do. He's going to be in a nice predicament for when Eze and Elise come back, because I don't know where they're all going to play. And Elise's not back; he's not far out.
Yeah, but this is a nice headache to have, because
it's a good headache to have, because you got too many good players that can start.
Yeah, the only way you improve the squad is by improving your starting 11.
Yeah, and if you do that, then if you've got a good starting 11 and a better second 11, it can mean you can have a better run in the cup, hopefully.
Oh, we need a cup run.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up the Carabao Cup, because we all know the FA Cup's the one we want. But
we've parked that. We've absolutely parked that.
Yeah, that was the last stream.
100%. What was the last thing I was going to say? That's it. There's like 2-3 days left of the window. Who would you like to see come in? If we're
There's a lot of talk about that fella from Real Madrid. Apparently, we've submitted an offer for Edouard and Nketiah. I think I've been speaking to some Celtic fans. They say Edouard's a very in and out player, so he'll have a good game 1 in 5. And that's in the Scottish League, and I'm not really sure, man. If you can't do it in the Scottish League game in, game out, I'm not really sure how that'll translate to the Premier League.
He's got a decent goal record.
Yeah. I can't say no, obviously. I think out of all of them, you'd rather Edouard, but I think the one that will get done is probably Nketiah because of the Arsenal link and because Nketiah's played with so many of our players in the England setup. I just think it's a perfect fit, really. But I do believe that 11 million is too much money for him.
Absolutely. Jordan, thanks for jumping on.
No problem, man.
Said, always
right,
welcome
later,
on the
man.
show. Take care.
Cool. Bye.
Great first call in there. Let me just hit a few more of the comments. Luke, who I'm going to speak to next, said I'm so buzzing, having a few drinks later to celebrate. You're not the only one. I've had one already. Just CPFC, I'm so happy right now. Absolutely. I think we all are. And you know what it is? It's not like we ground out a point here. We could have won the game. Our second half was phenomenal. And I think there's just little pieces to the puzzle that are really, really starting to take place. Eagles UK, sup everyone. Eagles, absolutely. And Jordan, make sure you get those beers in 100%. 100%. Well, I was going to bring in Luke, but he's disappeared. So, you know what? Nate, what's happening?
Rich, how are we feeling?
I was always optimistic, but normally we kind of like crawl over the line against West Ham. Like, we should have, after the first half, because we could have gone 3-4 down, but that second half, we absolutely deserved everything we got from that game. What's your thoughts?
Not to use a football cliche because I'm not really a fan of cliches, but that was an atypical game of two halves. We definitely should have been dead and buried in the first half. Let's not kid ourselves. But here's a thing that just marries brilliantly. Joel Warden off the line clearances. My right back, you know, I keep telling people, Ward may not be world-class Trent Alexander-Arnold and all that. But what's he good at that people don't give him credit for? Being there when you need him. Don't get me wrong. Our sloppiness on the ball alarmingly worried me in the first half. But in fairness, this game I was thinking, oh boy, West Ham away. They're in incredible form. They've picked up from where they left off.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to think, oh, West Ham have had a good window. No. David Moyes has done what David Moyes always does at teams that people expect him to fail at. He will keep the squad tight-knit. And what's happened? They're playing for him and each other.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I will point out that I wasn't overly enthused by the starting 11 because I'm still questioning Kouyaté in this team. And today I could have sworn he was playing for them at times. Not 100%, but you know, let's be honest here. Let's not kid ourselves and pretend that everybody came through with a gold star. But it was an improvement. It was an improvement. Now, the first half, I was worried. I'm not going to lie. I was contemplating whether hitting the hard liquor tonight because I was thinking, oh, is this going to be another one where I'm going to just avoid watching any highlights? But I understand that a lot of people were not confident. After midweek and the other two results, confidence is low, but maybe that's a good thing. Because, again, as you said, and as the chat before me said, little things are starting to knit together.
They are.
Now, granted, in a perfect world, we would have lost to Chelsea, beat Brentford, beat Watford, and won today. In a perfect world, right? Yeah. But where we've struggled, you can see that it's slowly starting to knit together. And as we've been saying all along, it takes time.
It's going to take time.
I mean, look, Arsenal today got slapped 5-0 by City. Don't get me wrong, that's happened to us a number of times, so we know how that feels.
Sorry to cut you. Sorry, I forgot to even do this. We've scored goals. We've scored. Come on.
You seen my message in the chat when I said I forgot what you do when your team scores a goal.
Literally.
I was like, wait. You mean wait, what? Shit. Yeah, I mean, listen, Conor Gallagher right now, freedom of South London. Boy, what a player. And listen, fair play to Chelsea. He's come to us, and quite clearly he'll be playing for Chelsea next season or the season after next.
Should be, yeah.
I'm not saying that he's going to dislodge the Mounts and the Ziyech's and all that. But at West Brom and us, he is showing that he can make it a Premier League level. Granted, maybe not starting for Chelsea, but he's an option for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And today, he stood up in a big game where the pressure is on for us. Let's not kill ourselves. It is on to get points against Brentford and West Ham. They're the two fixtures I picked out from our first six and said we have to get a result in those games.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, and our neighbours on the South Coast, I'm not confident we'll get points in those games. I want to be wrong about Brighton, but do you know what I mean? I don't want to get cocky and think, oh, no, we'll smack them. We beat them last season. No. I don't want any of that. I'd love that to happen. Do not get me wrong. If we beat Brighton, trust me, when we do a reaction for that, trust me, it's going to be lit. But
it's
going to be disgusting. But I'm happy for Vieira because already he's got that monkey of no goals scored off his back. He's got 2 points to Frank de Boer's none. Don't get me wrong. I want him to get his first win sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely.
But these de Boer comparisons, listen, they're in the mud. Never to return, never to come back.
And as I said earlier, every game we've played so far, there's been a slow progression and slow improvement. There's been rocky moments, as there is, but there's been progression. Like, I'm not going to talk about the Frank de Boer era, but yes, we've got 2 points, but there were 2 points where I feel they're going to be crucial at the end of the season. We have to get through this first initial, was it 6, 7, 8 games, which is they're not easy. They're hard. We will get a period where it's going to be a period of winnable games and such. We just got to get out of this initial period not seriously scathed, you know. And but we're showing character. We're showing an identity. We're like, listen, we're not going to just sit back and have banks of 4 anymore. We're coming up like Jordan Ayew, who like a lot of us probably have written off. He had a blinder today. He had an absolute blinder. And there's something that's going right, especially in that dressing room. Something has changed, you know? And so I'm just ecstatic.
No, Rich, listen, say what your chest, man. You've every right to say what you feel. Because to be fair, look, I'm the first man to admit that I'm a massive Ayew critic. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't slaughter Jordan Ayew all the time. I do. I've slaughtered Benteke, Ayew, you name the player, I've probably slaughtered them in more ways than one, right? But that's what fans do. You're entitled to slaughter players that don't perform. Yeah. But credit where it's due. Players that like the Watford game, the Brentford game, I wasn't happy with some of these players, but I've said to myself, it takes time, results will come. And as you said, we need to ride out the initial games we have, which are not kind. But here's the thing. We've got hard games now, and we've got a run of games where we think, we should be getting points from those games. Yeah. Not wins. Yeah. I don't expect us to win every game when we play the Newcastles, the Burnleys, the Norwiches. I mean, I expect us to beat Norwich, but you know what I'm saying. I can expect draws and wins in those run of fixtures because they're the games that you'll get points from. Bonus points against the big boys is welcome, but it's not pivotal.
100%. I'm just going to get a few more comments in, and I'll just ask you about the Will Hughes situation.
Yeah, work away.
Transfer window. So, I think this was regarding Wardy, got chopped by Antonio. You know what? To be fair, West Ham's first goal was really good. Has a lot of passion, but that's where you draw the line. Good point. Comedy Palace. Jordan again. TV gave the ball away too much, but it's going to happen. We're trying something completely different, where we're actually trying to be the team that has possession of the ball.
We're not used to the ball. We've been allergic to the ball for 5 years, lads. Let's be real.
100%. Jesper, and again, big up Jesper. Totally agree with the fact that we've got a well-deserved point, and if we manage to secure a place in the Premier League for next season, I think we will become a team that puts fear into other teams. 100%. We've just got to see this season out. Just got to get by this season. Next season, I think we'll be fine. And you can tell, like, in the transfer window, the players that we're getting linked to are like, hold on a second, this is different. But we'll get into that in a sec. Gallagher's in the England setup, and evening Diego.
Diego.
What up, Diego? Will Hughes obviously signed. Thoughts on the signing, and also we'll have two questions in one. Who would you like to see coming in the next couple of days?
Okay, well, with Will Hughes, I mean, naturally, it's not a Hollywood name where you're going to go, oh my God, we're signing Will Hughes. It's what we need.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I am aware that he is injury prone, and that's what Watford fans have said, is that he is quite injury prone. But I've said, but we're technically sponsored by the NHS anyway, so that suits us no problem. We're used to being NHSFC, so I'm not too concerned about an injury prone player.
Yeah.
But because Will Hughes has played at two competitive levels of English football, being the Championship, where it's not easy to play in the Championship. People look at the Championship and say, oh, it's not as tough as the Premier League. It's even harder than the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because the Premier League, you can pretty much write who's going to be in the top six, who's getting relegated, and who's just staying there as mid-table fodder. The Championship, the team you pick to get promoted gets relegated. The team you pick to get relegated gets promoted.
Yeah.
As we well know, because the season we got promoted, we were odds-on favourites for relegation.
Yeah.
That just shows you how you can't predict the Championship. But do I think Will Hughes is a good signing? Yes. Am I confident that he will be a good fit for our midfield? 100%. I think he puts a little bit of pressure on Milivojevic, and can offer a bit of cover for Riedewald. But also competition, because we don't have much competition in midfield.
No.
I know we've still got Eze and Elise to come back, but what in the okay, Eze, we need to be wrapping him in cotton wool initially, because I think people are getting too caught up in, when Eze comes back, he's going to be spraying balls left and right. No, let's give him time to slowly bed back in, because popping his Achilles has changed probably how he sees making those runs he made last season. Not that he expects to get chopped down, because most teams would really be afraid to chop down players like Eze, because he's not in the mold of a Wilfried Zaha where you expect him to look for them kind of fouls.
Yeah.
And that's what's killed Wilf. I mean, obviously, this game just gone, Zaha, I think, had a bit of a scuffle with Kafal, or I think it was Souček or somebody in the West Ham team, and people were like, oh, Zaha, you dirty bastards. Like, that happens to Zaha literally every other week. Don't get me wrong, there are times he makes a meal of it and starts crying like a child, but it's like, Wilf, when you're barely touched, just get up. When you're taken clean out and you don't get the decision, we understand the frustration. But Will Hughes, fan of that signing. For £6 million, actually quite shrewd, because Watford were talking about he's not worth that. We should be getting 20 million. I said, whoa. 20 million for a player that's playing in your 23s.
Calm down. Absolutely.
Before I ask your second question, I do find it funny that Watford fans are saying, oh, what a downgrade. He's gone to a smaller club. Right. Smaller club. Wow. I find it funny more than it's insulting, but I'm just thinking, do Watford fans really think that their club is bigger than ours? Don't get me wrong. We've both won nothing. So it's not really an immense comparison, but I'm thinking, which team has spent more time in the third tier of English football since the 70s? Oh, it ain't us.
This is it.
We're one of only, I think, 11 teams that haven't been in the third tier since the 70s.
Yeah.
I think Watford are in that bracket. But don't get me wrong, look, Will Hughes, big fan of that. Not sure if he's going to settle in straight away and change the midfield, but it's a difference. And we've been very stale, both in defence and midfield. And that is one thing that killed us last season. We didn't have that unpredictability of who's coming on. The minute you're seeing Jeff Schlupp warming up, you're like, all right, Schlupp's coming on. He can do a job. He's a player we expect to see. If I saw Mamadou Sakho warm up, I was like, oh, Bambi on Ice is coming on. This is going to be stress. I'm going to lose what's left of my hair. This is not good. You know, but I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it, Rich. I must say, I'm happy that he's come, because obviously, you know, he talked a good game in his interview with Jay Knox. I thought, no, Chris Grierson. That's strange. But yeah, man, happy with it.
Who would you like to see come in then?
Oh, very good question. I was on a different channel earlier, and I said I wouldn't mind Edouard. Mayoral, I don't see it happening personally. I would love it. I would love to be wrong. You know me. I love to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
If we could get Mayoral, that would be unreal, because I would just be like, how is this guy on loan from Real Madrid playing for us? Bruv, am I playing FIFA 22 already? What is going on? But
just certain things are just happening. Things are just feeling different.
Do you know what I mean? And I get that some people are complaining that, oh, it's not the same, and why are we trying to play tippy-tappy football? This is the point of bringing in a Vieira. It's not going to guarantee that it's going to be amazing the first season. You don't want it to be amazing the first season. If it's amazing the first season, he's buggering off to Arsenal next season.
That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean?
They're under pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said the last day, you know, they've seen their team win Premier Leagues and FA Cups and Champions League finals and Champions League last 16s. They don't know what administration is, so what are they stressed for?
Yeah.
Calm down, bruv. When you play Millwall next season, then I understand your stress, because Millwall away is peak for anyone going Millwall away. But I'm not going to lie, it is quite amusing to see Arsenal bottom of the league, because it's just like, normally that's us or West Ham, and now both of us can look down and go, wow, we're not the worst team in London.
This is it.
I'll take that.
I'll take that 100%.
But no, to answer your question, Rich, before I drag this out any longer, Mayoral, in a perfect world, I'd love Mayoral. I think that'd be a bad boy signing. Yeah, that would be one where we could firmly stick it up to some of the bigger clubs out there. Who he should be going to a Leicester, to a Wolves, to a this, to a that. Okay, he can't get in ahead of Jimenez and Vardy at Wolves and Leicester respectively. Right, he's definitely getting ahead of Iheanacho at Leicester.
Yeah,
for argument's sake, he walks into our first team and gives Benteke an option, and Jordan Ayew then goes into an impact player which best suits Jordan Ayew. And this is the disrespect Ayew gets. Ayew came on when we won in this jersey a few years ago. People were saying, Ayew, what a crap sub. Scored the winner, did he not?
this is it.
Impact player, people. We don't want Jordan Ayew to be our starting centre forward, but neither do I want to see his name disrespected.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go back to the days of Fraser Campbell up top. And we don't want that.
Now we're good.
We need to move on from having centre forwards that make me pull what's left of my hair out and go, do you know what? Ayew isn't perfect, but you don't need him to be, because he's a goal poacher when he needs to pop up with one.
And
Edouard,
his credit.
Edouard, if we could pull it off, which I highly doubt, but I'm very excited by the links of Kurzawa.
Yeah.
I went, was I drinking last night? I must have been. I must have been hitting the rum very quick to see Kurzawa link with Crystal Palace. Now, you could argue it's just paper talk, and that's a fair. That'd be a fair assumption, because you don't normally link a player of his caliber with us.
Yeah,
totally understandable. But then you think about it. Wait a minute, the guy we brought in from PSG would know Kurzawa.
yeah.
And Kurzawa would know very quickly what's expected of him, because if he comes to Crystal Palace, he becomes one of the main men in the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that gives Tyrick Mitchell, who badly needs a shield and someone that can mentor him. And listen, when you're in this situation, here's how you deal with the Manes, with the Salahs, with the De Bruynes, with them kind of top-level players. He's played in the Champions League. Now, I'm not saying we'll sign him, because I don't think we will. But to see these kinds of names thrown our way, you're thinking, okay, if you see him linked with Chelsea, Liverpool, Wolves, Leicester, Arsenal, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They're in that bracket of conversation. We're never in that bracket. I mean, normally we're hearing about, let's say, Joe Worrell from Nottingham Forest. No disrespect to him or Nottingham Forest, but we're normally linked with players that are below us in the league.
Yeah.
You're thinking, okay, he might be a good option. We don't know yet. But I'm confident that deadline day will be exciting, because I think I think Parish and the board, they know they're not done. They know that.
Yeah.
But the less noise we hear, and obviously we've heard nothing bar Will Hughes, that can only mean that they know we need to do some serious work, because, as I said after the Watford game, transfer window 1 and 2 in the January, that's the initial rebuild phase.
Yeah.
Right? And I am aware people are saying, no, he won't last till Christmas. The results and performances are beginning to show a little bit of coming together. Now, it
Yeah.
hasn't resulted in wins, and that's what people judge managers on. Oh, he hasn't won yet. He's a crap manager. So a manager who hasn't won a game yet is crap. But a manager who's won an FA Cup and has seen his side fail to score 3 times, people are saying, oh, Vieira's gone before Arteta. I don't think so. And I don't want Arsenal to sack Arteta, because seeing Arsenal way down there makes me laugh my head off, because I'm thinking, such a big club, the most successful club in London in respect of domestic trophies. Obviously, Chelsea have won European titles that Arsenal haven't, and we haven't, to be fair. You're thinking, Arsenal, bottom of the league. I mean, you see this on FIFA or PES a bit, and you kind of laugh at it going, oh, that'd never happen. But it's early days yet. This result wasn't your, oh my God, how did we win that? It's more a case of, boys, how did we not win that? Oh my word. But look, the first half, I won't lie, I wasn't really impressed, and I was kind of worried. And, you know, obviously I got a little bit fooled by a fake Fantasy Premier League tweet on the group chat, which I'm still not happy about myself with. Oh man, I was stressed when I got tricked again, because it happened to me last season as well, you know.
Yeah.
I was just like, mate, that ain't the tweet, bruv. On that one. You understand? But no,
Mate,
listen.
Thank you for your insight as always, man.
Big result, great result. And Tottenham next after the international break. This is going to be fun.
It is.
Or painful. One of the two. It's Palace. This is what we do.
This is what
Later
we do.
on.
Listen, big up.
Sayonara.
Luke, just before I bring you in, I'm just going to touch on a few of the comments. So, yeah, and this, I think we all agree on this. Let's not rush Eze back until he's 100%. An Achilles injury, it's not an easy one to come back on. Not an easy one to come back with. Big up Jamel 007. Love that name. We need to get Gallagher on a punt if we can, but I honestly think Chelsea are looking at this and thinking we need to keep this boy. But maybe we can get another loan deal again next year, and then that could turn his head. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Big up to Russia, my boy. He's a United fan, but always supporting. Facts, need to manage Eze the right way, 100%. And he agrees that Will Hughes is a great bit of business. And he was superb at Derby, to be fair. So yeah, guys, like I said, the link's in the chat if you want to come in and have your say. I'm going to bring in Luke. How you doing, mate?
Yes, good point today. It feels
massive
like a win.
point. It really does. Really does. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. Daniel, thank you so much for Gallagher. Thank you. Go on, Luke. Talk to us.
So I went to the game. Fantastic atmosphere as always from Palace fans. I love being in the away end for Palace. It just brings such a smile to my face after these past 18 months. Like, 18 months has been very, very hard for all of us, but it's just nice to be back, isn't it? So I was right next to the West Ham fans. So I was like row 8. I was like literally next door neighbours. Hello. Literally, they were giving it the big one when they scored, and I was giving it the big one when we scored. So happy days. So Gallagher, fantastic player. We need to sign him on a permanent, which I think we will next summer if Chelsea get sound. Yeah, go on.
That's a good point. No, I was just saying, Niguez. Yeah, that's a good point.
Who else? Our 2 centre backs look really good today. Yet again, I'm going to have to say it every single week. We've got 2 gems of players there at centre half. They complemented well with the 2 full-backs today. Mitchell looked really good. Joel Ward looks really good. Zaha, the last 20 to 25 minutes, looked really, really good. And also Christian Benteke, his hold-up play today. He did very well as a centre forward, and he didn't score, but the rest of his play, the rest of the play that he did, that the hold-up, the passing onto the players from midfield, linking them in, it looks really good. And one man, Jordan Ayew. Lots of energy as well down the wing. He went on a slalom run. He went on a little messy run where he went past 2 or 3 players. He actually shrugged off Declan Rice. Probably one of the best midfielders in the league. He shrugged off him a few times. The middle of the park, Gallagher obviously was amazing, and that little turn that he did for the second goal, I was too focused on giving it big into the West Ham fans. I didn't have much focus on the goal, and I watched the highlights back, like his goal, and I'm like, what? He did that, and it's like we've got a player on our hands that potentially, if you chuck Chelsea 20 to 25 million next summer, we could have him next summer.
Yeah.
But the team overall fantastic. I can't say any more. It's just so nice to get a point from the Hammers.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? I think it's not even just the fact that we got a point, because we could have got a scrappy 0-0 draw or a lucky 1-1. It's the manner we came out in the second half, and I think that's what's pleasing everybody. Like, we came out with intent, with drive. We pushed them back to the point where we were dominant in that second half, which is absolutely amazing to see. Let me just hit a few more comments. So, if obviously supporting Palace was easy, wouldn't be anywhere near as passionate or patient. You know, I love how well Gallagher has fitted in, absolutely, and find it amusing. His last goal in the Premier League was actually against us when he was at West Brom. Definitely Eagles. You know what? Eagles. And you know, respect to you, Luke, and all the away fans. Yeah, guys, all the fans are able to make games and are able to travel home and away. Big up to you. The noise you lot make, you do us proud, man. Absolutely. South London through and through. So big up. Big up. What did you think was the turning point then? Because I mean, I spoke to Jordan earlier and he said it was that the wing backs got higher up. What do you think was the reason why we played better in the second half?
I think the wingers, not the fullbacks, the wingers, Wilf and Ayew, they both got close to their fullbacks. Especially Wilf. They got on that ball. They looked.
It looks like Luke has a few technical issues.
Am I back now?
A bit in and out at the moment, Luke. All right, what I'll do, sort yourself out. I'll bring you back in a sec. Yeah, let me just hit this comment from 1979 or 1979. Yeah, the point against those annoying spammers. Now we have to perform well against Spurs after the international break. You know what? I think the international breaks come at a brilliant time for us. I guess obviously you can feel like momentum's been taken away because we want a high, but we've got another week or two now to implement some more of Patrick's ideas. We're going to have more players back fit to be able to do so as well. And also with the window, if we do end up getting another player in, they can work with Vieira in that break and they're not having to rush into a game to find their feet and such. So I think we've got international break at a very, very good time, you know, because then I think it'll be just minus Eze. We would have pretty much the majority of the team back. So just looking forward to it, really. Just absolutely looking forward to it. I think we've got Luke back. Yes, Luke.
So as I was saying, Wilf and Ayew literally pushed their wing against their fullbacks, and as soon as we got on the ball, Gallagher or Anderson or Gurhey just looked for Wilf or Ayew, and Wilf and Ayew just ran at their fullbacks in the second half. So that's the reason why we got ball playing centre backs, just to look for those plays, and they did it. And if it wasn't thanks to Wilf and Ayew for their hard work, I think we would have been down 3 or 4-1. Even at half time, we could have been down 3-0, 4-1. So, no, it was fantastic from the boys.
100%. To the comment section, I completely forgot, and for the callers in, forgot to say, you know what? Who's your man of the match? Type it up in the comment section. So Nate, Jordan, completely forgot to ask you who your man of the match was, but I'm pretty sure we all know who it probably was. But just put who your man of the match was in the comment section. So Luke, I'm going to actually ask you, who's your man of the match?
Gallagher, the no-brainer.
Yeah, I think that'll be the majority that says Gallagher, but absolutely massive result. Let's talk Will Hughes, and then obviously lastly, who you'd want to come in the remaining days of the window.
Will Hughes, we need a number 6. I don't think we have many number 6s in our midfield. I think that's where they're going to deploy him, in the number 6. And I think he can compete with Gyro and Milivojevic. He's going to be a good acquisition for the team.
Yeah. And obviously we've been chatting a lot anyway, outside of the stream and such. You know who I want to come in. I think I know who you want to come in. Who do you think we'll get?
I actually think we'll get Nketiah, but alongside Nketiah, I think we'll get Edouard, because at the moment, I think Nketiah can. I don't think we'll get a winger, though. I think the winger that we are. I had a conversation with somebody the other day off stream, not you, but some other guy. He said that we're not looking for a winger. Apparently, we are looking for 2 strikers, but also Nketiah can play on the wing. So I think Nketiah will be deployed in like the Jordan Ayew role down on the right, and I think we'll get Edouard as well with Nketiah.
That wouldn't be a bad window at all. Would not be a bad window at all. I'm just gonna hit a few more comments. This one's very important, guys. Guys, whatever you're doing right now, I know you like listening to this, but just hit the like button for me, please. Share this, guys. Like I said, this is especially match day reactions. This is your platform. I'm starting to get more people calling in now, which is brilliant. But if I could do a 2-hour stream to talk to 20, 30 Palace fans, I will do it. You know, it's just, this is your platform, guys, to have your say. So whenever I go live with match reactions and stuff, this is your platform. Please come on, have your say. So yeah, big up to the SE25, massive. And yeah, I think it's unanimous, Conor Gallagher. However, there is one of the men of the match for you, Luke, for bantering the West Ham fans. And obviously on the page, Conor Gallagher is man of the match all day long. Last question for the comment section, and I'm actually going to bring on a United fan in a minute. Guys, you've heard obviously who people want in to come in through the doors in the last day of the transfer window, but type in the comment section who you would like us to sign. For me, it's Edouard, but if we could get Mayoral as well, win-win. Absolute win-win. So those are the 2 for me. Type in the chat who you would like to see us sign before the window closes on Tuesday, I believe. On Tuesday, yeah. So yeah, Luke, once again, thanks for coming on.
Up the Palace.
Definitely up the Palace. Take care, mate.
See you soon. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. It's lovely when we're in good spirits. Like, there's no better feeling than talking to fans after a great result. I'm actually bringing on a Man United fan now. And big up to him for wanting to jump on and have his say. He didn't have to. I know this is the Palace Forum, but let's see what he's got to say about our club. Hamza, welcome.
Hello.
Right, keep it strictly Palace. What do you have to say?
You know what? I was really impressed with Crystal Palace, and I really liked Patrick Vieira today with him showing a bit of spirit on the pitch, encouraging players to move forward. The squad that he's building, really good squad. Gallagher, just this guy, man, is such a baller. He's such a baller. You're lucky to have a guy like him. He's incredible, and Benteke played well. Zaha kept complaining on the floor as usual. So
Behave yourself.
like I don't know what. But like it's a really good result for Crystal Palace to get a point from West Ham. It's really good in Crystal Palace point of view, and like was into what a second half that was. Really entertaining match that was.
Absolutely. Obviously, you're looking from an outside perspective because obviously you don't support the club. But what's impressing you the most about how we're playing at the moment?
You pressed high. You pressed high in the first half, even though you're playing bad in the first half. You were pressing high, and West Ham couldn't get the ball. And second half, like they need the goal because 3 points is more important them than 3 points to you, and you kept them back and trying to that third goal. So I was really impressed with the spirits and really impressed with how Patrick Vieira kept pressing forward, and going on, which with like for Crystal Palace to do that and to be having loads of problems in contracts and like having problems with players to building a really good young squad and building enthusiasm and great spirit around the club and the team that impressed me the most. And I think Patrick Vieira is building something, and he looks like a manager for the future, basically, and for his
Now,
own managerial career.
you bring up a very good point because obviously at the beginning of the summer, our squad was thin, but we're slowly starting to build it. We're still short a bit, but it's getting there.
I
And
think the only thing you need is a striker for me.
maybe two. I would say a striker and a winger. But if we're getting two strikers, I guess one of them could, if possible, could play out wide as well. But obviously, it's just a couple of days left of the window, so we'll have to wait and see. It's great to have your insight on this. To be honest, Hamza. Before you go off, promote your channel.
The United community. I'm not gonna be posting this week. I'm gonna be out, suffering to death in training camp and in the tournament that I'm playing under 20s, which is like it's living hell. But anyways, like this is United community. We're doing FPL. We do Man United. We give insights on matches like these and yeah.
And he always needs to sort out his internet. Bless him. He's a young man from Egypt, so that's why I'm always happy to have him on. He's doing his own thing as well. So yeah, I think his connection is gone. Bless him. And trust Bernard J to come in and have a little go at him. I'm going to let you see this before you go. Bernard J tells you to turn your lights on and comb your hair. Oh gosh, his internet's still gone. Hamza, take it easy, mate. Guys, let's just wrap this up. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing today. Huge result. Thanks for all those who called in. Like I said, the opportunity is here for you to. Oh, is he back? No, you're not back. Right. Opportunity here for you to come in and have your say. All things Palace. Tomorrow night, that's when they open it up to speak to other fans of other clubs in the show called Get Amped. Because obviously most of the weekend games will be finished. Hopefully I'll get an Arsenal fan on because be interested to hear their thoughts at the moment. But guys, like, share, subscribe to Eagle Eye Football. Listen, you guys are amazing. I love this community. Up the Palace indeed. What a massive result. A massive result. Big up to all of you, and we out.